The trip to the Resch Center begins right now as we reveal the WIAA girls basketball playoff brackets. I'm Carly Murata.
And I'm Luke Gamble. We're joined now by Norbert Durst, who's been covering Wisconsin girls high school basketball for 10 plus years. Norbert, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me on the show.
And we start in Division 1. We're going to break this up by sectional. So starting in Sectional 1, top-seeded Hortonville will get a bye and play the winner of Appleton West and Chippewa Falls. And then Oshkosh West taking on Appleton North in an 8-9 matchup. Stevens Point area matching up against Wausau West, and Oshkosh North will meet Eau Claire Memorial.
All right, moving on. Neenah earning a 3 seed. They will face Wisconsin Rapids Lincoln and Appleton East playing Superior. Marshfield will take on Holman, and Eau Claire North facing DC Everest. The winner will meet number 2 seeded Hudson, who has a bye.
All right, let's come back out here and talk about Neenah, the 6th-ranked team in Division 1. They, of course, have UConn commit Allie Zabel, who's up for Miss Basketball. Their losses have been really close games this season. Norbert, what do you like about the Rockets? What are you seeing from them?
Well, they have Allie Zabel. I mean, that's the biggest thing there. She's the clear favorite for Miss Basketball. She has over 2,600 career points. I mean, she's a lightning scorer, but I do think they're going to need her to score the ball at a higher rate maybe than she has against Hortonville in other games. I do see Hortonville and Neenah coming down to the crunch there, but, you know, they do need help from Rowan Klesmet, from Ellie Buss, and others from that team because while Allie Zabel is very good, she still needs help from her team to get to the state tournament.
And Neenah just took on Hortonville, right? That was a great game.
They did, and you know that's the thing for them. It's like, can they slow down Rainey Wilson? In both of those games this year, they've given up probably too many points to her, and I believe they gave up about 40 to her last year in the sectional final. So slowing down her will be key.
All right, let's keep it moving.
All right, let's keep it rolling in Division 1. Brookfield East earning a number 1 seed. They finished runner-up to Kettle Moraine in last year's D1 championship. Brookfield East will face the winner of Sheboygan South and Sheboygan North. Manitowoc Lincoln will take on Divine Savior Holy Angels in an 8 versus 9 matchup. And then Homestead facing Green Bay Preble, with Fond du Lac taking on 4-seeded Germantown.
And continuing with Division 1, Sectional 2, Hartford Union, the 3 seed, they will face Bayport. And then it's Kaukauna against a peer. Menominee Falls taking on Hamilton, and then Brookfield Central and Green Bay East going up against each other. And the winner of that game will face number 2 seeded Kimberly. All right, we still have half of the Division 1 bracket to reveal, but what stands out so far about one of these teams or matchups that you're seeing in these brackets?
Well, Sectional 2 is the most difficult in Sectional 1. That really just has a lot of teams that are very good. You know, a lot of those teams have been ranked this year. Then you look at teams like Germantown, you know, that's another one of those ranked teams at times this year. De Pere's been a very good team. So I think just up and down that bracket is very difficult. And, you know, Kimberly, obviously out of the FVA, you got to mention them as well. Just a very, very good group. And then, which mentioned Homestead as well for you, Carly, because they're having a great season as well.
Yep, I'm a Homestead alum, so thanks for the mention.
Of course.
I appreciate it. All right, well, we need to take a quick time out, but when we come back, we'll continue to reveal the Division 1 girls basketball brackets.
Plus, we hear from Verona head coach Lexi Richardson as her team ranks number 1 in Division 1. That's coming up next.
Welcome back as we continue to reveal the WIAA girls basketball brackets. We continue with Division 1, Sectional 3 and 4. Oregon earns the number 1 seed. They will face the winner of Madison West and Middleton. And then it's Madison La Follette taking on Madison Memorial. That's an 8-9 matchup. Continuing on, Waunakee earns the number 5 seed, and they will meet Beloit Memorial. And then Sun Prairie West taking on 4th-seeded Kettle Moraine, the defending state champs.
All right, let's keep it going. Verona undefeated on the season, earning a 3 seed. They will face Sun Prairie East. Janesville Craig taking on Madison East in the first round. Oconomowoc will meet Mugwanago in a 7 versus 10 matchup. Waukesha North-South taking on Janesville Parker. The winner will face 2-seeded Arrowhead. All right, well, let's talk about Oregon, one of just 2 undefeated teams in Division 1. They haven't had a ton of close games this year. What kind of stands out about this team? How far can you see them going?
They've played some good competition, obviously in the Badger Large. I think it's one of the better conferences in the entire state. So I think that's definitely helped them out a ton. A really good 1 through 5. I think that's very important for them. But I do think it's going to be their defense is going to be very important for them to beat the likes of maybe a Arrowhead or a Verona, because those two teams are certainly very loaded as well. So I think, Delaney Nienhuis having a very good year, Sam Schmidt having a very good year for them. But again, it's the body of work for Oregon. That's why they're undefeated. They play good competition, but I don't think to the same level of competition that Verona and Arrowhead have this season, though.
Oh, interesting. Okay. All right, let's dig a little deeper into this sectional. Some really interesting teams here. What are more thoughts on just the overall picture of the sectional we just released?
Well, I think there's just 3 very good basketball teams. Arrowhead has only lost 1 in-state game, and that was to Homestead.
Yeah.
Obviously Verona and Oregon are undefeated, so they haven't lost very many games. And they're just Natalie Cuso from Arrowhead's very good. They got a number of others on that squad as well that are good. But, I think it's going to come down to maybe a Taylor Stremlo, Reagan Briggs. I think what they're doing at Verona, and I think obviously them getting the 3 seed a lot because of the Big 8. It just hasn't been very strong this year. And when you only have a limited number of non-conference games, and they played the best of the best, and they've won them all. So I think that's the biggest thing for them. Verona went out there and played those teams, and I think that's why they're ready to go get to the state tournament.
All right, that definitely counts for a lot. Well, let's move forward as Muskego earns the number 1 seed. They will play host to the winner of Milwaukee Riverside and Racine Horlick. Then it's Racine Case and Badger in an 8 versus 9 matchup. Oak Creek earning the 5 seed and taking on Milwaukee Regan. Milwaukee Hamilton Audubon facing Kenosha Temper. Let's go to the next bracket. Kenosha Bradford earning a 3 seed playing West Alice Hale. And Wetosha Central taking on Milwaukee King. Milwaukee Bradley Tech playing Kenosha Indian Trail. West Alley Central taking on 2-seeded Franklin. And now we're going to send it over to Carly, who is standing by with Verona head coach Lexi Richardson.
All right, thanks, Luke. I'm now joined in studio by Verona head coach Lexi Richardson. And Lexi, your first year with the program, your team with a great, undefeated season. How's it been as just a first-year head coach?
Yeah, it's been so fun. It's such a great group of girls. Angie Murphy, hats off to her because, a lot of our success is because of her. And so really just trying to continue that and have some fun while we're doing it.
What's some advice that Angie gave you as you took on this in your first year?
Yeah, I think one thing is just don't stress the small stuff.
Yeah.
Really get after the girls at practice and have some fun with it. If we're having fun with it, we're obviously winning some games, and so that's going to be the best part of it.
Obviously, Verona earning a 3 seed. You were undefeated on the season, so you might have expected a higher seed, but is that motivating for your team at all?
Yeah, absolutely. To be the best, you got to beat the best, and so we're in a spot to be able to beat the best teams in the state, and it's a great challenge for us and great motivation going forward.
Looking for your first state championship since 2016. What does your team have to do to get to the Rush Center?
Yeah, I think it happens in practice. Getting after it with each other, staying competitive, staying locked in on all of the little things. We got 3 games this week, so getting a lot of good game practice this week, and then a lot of practice next week before going into those games. So I think really just staying locked in, using this 3 seed as motivation and seeing where we can go.
Interesting having 3 games after finding out who you're playing and your seed. How important are these 3 games though, just to get ready for the playoffs?
Yeah, super important. I think part of the reason we play Monona Grove tomorrow is to sort of check in and see where we're at, getting ready for playoffs, for the state tournament, all of that sort of stuff. And so, it's really helpful to sort of see where we're at and sort of go from there, make some fine tweaks next week and off to the races.
All right, thank you so much for coming in, and best of luck to Verona in the playoffs. All right, when we come back, we dive into the Division II bracket and hear from Monona Grove head coach Bree Murphy. Welcome back to the WIAA Girls Basketball Bracket Reveal Show. We've got 1 division down and 4 more to go.
Well, let's keep it rolling straight into Division 2, starting with Sectional 1.
Menominee earns the top seed in Sectional 1. They'll face the winner of Wausau East and River Falls. Mosinee is the 4 seed. They will face Hayward. On the other side, Rice Lake gets a bye as the 3 seed. They'll host the winner of Medford and New Richmond. Then it's 7-seeded Merrill against Ashland. Those 2 teams will play to see who faces 2nd-seeded Lakeland.
All right, let's move now to the other side of Sectional 1. It's the defending state champs Notre Dame who earned the number 1 seed. They'll host either Seymour or Fox Valley Lutheran. 4th-seeded New London will face off against Chenot. Then we have Rhinelander as the 3 seed playing Green Bay Southwest. Marinette's the 2 seed in this bracket. They'll play the winner of Pulaski and Antigo.
And we have to talk about Notre Dame. They won the last 3 state championships to complete the three-peat. Really impressive. Do you feel like they have what it takes to make it 4 in a row? And would that be history?
Well, yeah, that'd definitely be history. No one's ever done that before. They're one of 6 teams to win 3 consecutive state titles. You know, and they're rolling. I mean, they have lost 1 game this year. That was their first game of the year to Pewaukee. And, you know, those 2 teams have been battling the last few years. They played in this championship game the last 2. But, you know, the depth and talent of that Notre Dame team, Gracie Grash, Trista Feda and company, and, you know, Sarah Rohde, a heck of a coach as well. She has 5 Division I, 5 WIAA state titles and could join Jim Myers for 2nd on that list with 6 this year. And Jeff Lucina has 9 as a note on that as well. But that Notre Dame team is loaded, and, you know, they're hungry to play Pewaukee again and obviously to get that gold ball for the fourth consecutive season.
Yeah, I'm sure we might see Notre Dame and Pewaukee once again this year. Now we'll go to Sectional 2 where Beaver Dam, they earn the number 1 seed. They'll play the winner of Port Washington and Plymouth. Menasha will go head-to-head with Ashwaubenon in the 4 versus 4 matchup. Watertown earns the 3 seed and will host Luxembourg Casco. And then it's 7-seeded Slinger taking on West Bend West. The winner will move on to play 2nd-seeded West Appear in the sectional quarterfinals.
All right, we go now to the second half of the bracket in Division 2, Sectional 2. The defending runner-ups, Pewaukee, gets the 1 seed. New Berlin West and Milwaukee Vincent play for the chance to travel to Pewaukee. 4th-seeded New Berlin Eisenhower will take on 5th-seeded Cedarsburg. Grafton earns the 3 seed and will play host to Wauwatosa West. Waukesha West is the 2nd seed. They get a bye and will play the winner of Milwaukee Lutheran and Milwaukee Madison.
And let's get back to the brackets. Sectional 3 in Division 2 starts off with West Salem. They've now won 4 straight conference titles. They'll play the winner of Toma and La Crosse Logan. Below that, Reedsburg as the 4 seed hosting 5th-seeded Sauk Prairie. DeForest earns the 3 seed. They'll play either La Crosse Central or Portage. Sparta comes in as the 7th seed and will host Baraboo. And the winner of that game moves on to play Onalaska.
For the Badgers Small Conference champions, McFarland are a number 1 seed. They'll play either Delavanderian or Mount Horeb on the bottom half of that bracket. 4th-seeded Whitewater goes head-to-head with 5th-seeded Jefferson Elkhorn, the 3 seed. They'll see the winner of Milton and Monroe. Monona Grove comes in at number 2. They'll face either Stoughton or Fort Atkinson. We've got 3/4 of this bracket done. We want to talk about some of the specific teams soon, but what kind of stands out? Matchups, maybe potential matchups down the line so far from what we've seen.
Well, you got to circle that Monona Grove McFarland potential rematch. They played last year in a sectional contest. They played this year in a regular season game. Obviously, 3 overtimes to get that one. And for Monona Grove, it's can you slow down Tegan Mullaney? You know, Tegan Mullaney's so good, and we saw her at the state tournament last year. And you really just put on a show against Notre Dame and almost beat that very good Notre Dame team. So it's a matter of that. But I think, you know, that depth of Monona Grove is really good, and that's why I had them ranked a little higher to start the year. But, you know, it's going to be a fight for sure because those 2 teams are very good programs.
I live for a Monona-McFarland matchup in the playoffs. We're going to talk to the Monona Grove head coach in a second, too. But let's see the final section for Division 2. All right, Wauwatosa East is the number 1 seed in Sectional 4. They'll play the winner of Nicolay and Shorewood. Wisconsin Lutheran comes in as the 4 seed. They host St. Augustine Prep. 3rd-seeded Whitefish Bay plays St. Joan Antietam. And Pius is the 2 seed. They will host Milwaukee, Washington.
Well, the final frame of Division 2 here, Southern Lakes champs Union Grove earning the top seed. They play the winner of Waterford and Cadea. Martin Luther and Racine Park will play in the 4 versus 5 matchup, and it's Greenfield as a 3 seed who will await the winner of Burlington and Wilmot Union. Greendale will play South Milwaukee to see who moves on to face second-seeded Whitnall. Well, let's go back to Pewaukee for just a second. The number one team in Division II, they have made it to the state tournament 3 of the last 4 years, falling to Notre Dame the last 2 seasons in the state championship game. The Pirates, of course, hope to be the ones to take the home the gold ball this time around. Head coach Jim Reuter reflecting on the different memories of their trips to the Retch Center.
To be fully honest, the first year we went was kind of a tragic year for us. We went in 2020, the COVID year, actually. And of course, we had the plug pulled the night before we were supposed to play Beaver Dam. They were going, I think, for their 4th straight state title. For us, it was their first time ever at state in program history. And it's super, super exciting. Finally, I got a knock on my door at 10:30 at night from one of the girls who said, like, I heard that they canceled it. That's how I found out about it, too. I had no idea what had happened. And they let us walk on the floor the next morning, even though it was canceled. That's when it really hit me. It was kind of what we were losing out on. So that's been a negative memory for us, but also I really cherish those kids who were there. We remember them as we've gone the last couple of years to kind of, play for them. Don't forget about those kids who helped lay a foundation to get us here and for our program. As far as memories go, obviously it's tough to lose. It's tough to lose in a state title game. Most teams do lose their last game, but we try and cherish also the moments of happiness, the chance of getting there. A lot of really good teams and players never make it to state ever. We've been lucky to go these last 2 years. And, if we get to go again, it's just to make sure you take advantage of that and give it your all here.
All right, I'm now joined by Monona Grove head coach Bree Murphy. Thanks so much for being here, first of all.
Yeah, definitely.
What do you think? You just found out your seed and potential matchup maybe with McFarland. Just what do you think about what you just saw?
Yeah, no, we're going to deal with whatever we got. And we've had some ups and downs this season, but we've played such a tough schedule that just kind of rolling with the punches and getting better every game. So McFarland's down the road. Right. We try to focus on every game, every possession. So the goal is just to, win that first one and then keep moving forward. So one game at a time.
What do you attribute to your success this season?
Definitely our 5 seniors are so strong. Okay. We have a starting lineup of 5 seniors, which is really special, and they just set a precedent in practice. They set a precedent in warm-ups and games of just going out and competing every day. So they definitely help us there.
Balanced scoring on your team, 4 players averaging 10 points per game. How has that helped your offense this season and helped your success as a whole?
Oh, definitely. I think that we really push that everyone's a threat on the offensive end. Everyone can get hot. Everyone can score. So when you have that, it's kind of hard because you can't just shut down 1 or 2 players. You kind of have to treat everyone like they can score, which they can. So we kind of find the hot hand where the girls are really good at that one extra pass, and whoever's making their shots, we're going to feed them. And then if they take that away, we have another option.
Right.
So
a lot of depth.
A lot of depth, yeah.
This is a great area for girls basketball. You mentioned just the tough schedule in general. Just what can you say about the talent of the girls basketball teams in our area?
No, it's been awesome. The Badger Large has really been a gauntlet. Every game we play is a battle. We've played 3 games that have went into overtime this season. So it's made us better. Even when we lose games, it's always a battle, and they always fight hard. And like I said, it just made us better, and it's fun to play really competitive teams. And Oregon's undefeated. We've played them twice, and both games have been great games. So it's fun. It's good to just see girls basketball elevating, and especially in Dane County.
All right, thanks for being here, and best of luck to Monona Grove.
Thank you so much.
Heading into the playoffs. All right, coming up, we continue our WIAA Girls Basketball Reveal Show with Division III. Stick with us. Welcome back to the WIAA Girls Basketball Bracket Reveal Show.
We keep it rolling with Division III. Carly, take it away with the first sectional.
All right, the number 1 seed, that goes to Baldwin Woodville. They will play the winner of Bloomer and Northwestern. And then it's St. Croix Falls against Osceola. The winner of that matchup will face 4th-seeded Ellsworth. Prescott earning the bye as the 3 seed. They will face the winner of Spooner and Barron. St. Croix Central taking on Omri, and the winner will meet 2-seeded Somerset.
Elk Mound earns the number 1 seed. They'll face the winner of Adams Friendship and Gale Ettrick Trumpelow. And then Arcadia will play Wisconsin Dells in a 4-versus-5 matchup. Altoona, the number 3 seed, will have a bye. They face the winner of Black River Falls and Mauston. And then it's Viroqua taking on Stanley Boyd in a 7-10 meeting. The winner will face 2-seeded Aquinas. They finished runner-up last season.
All right, we bring Norbert back in here looking at Elk Mound. They're undefeated on the season. How have they been able to accomplish that this year?
You know, they're playing very good basketball. I think a very balanced attack, too, led by Ellie Shizik, a really good three-point shooter. Those numbers have went down a little bit, but that's also because of team gain as well, because, you know, more options on offense is always better. But, you know, they're going to go through some tough teams. You know, they beat Altoona in overtime when they played them earlier this year. And obviously Aquinas is in there, and Aquinas, you know, they play a lot of very good teams. And I think that's one thing for them. Can they handle pressure against an Aquinas if they do meet Aquinas, led by Sammy Davis?
Yeah.
You know, they got a lot of good players on that team as well. And Dave Donarski knows how to win a lot of basketball games. So that's a tough thing there for Elk Mound. But they're certainly talented enough to get to the state tournament.
Should be fun to watch. Well, let's jump ahead to Sectional 2 in Division 3. Wittenberg Burnham Wood earns the number 1 seed. They'll play the winner of Peshtigo and Wapaka. And then it's Amherst taking on Menominee Indian. Oconto Falls earning a bye as the 3 seed. They'll play the winner of Clintonville and Northland Pines. Tomahawk and Sturgeon Bay facing off in a 7-10 matchup. And the winner will take on 2-seeded Freedom.
All right, Xavier earns the number 1 seed. They'll play host to the winner of Kiel and Denmark. And then Amro and Little Shoup going head-to-head. The winner will take on 4th-seeded Wrightstown. Berlin earned the 3 seed and a bye. They will play the winner of Two Rivers and Winneconne. And then it's Chilton taking on Brilliant in a 7-10 matchup. The winner plays 2-seeded Watoma.
Edgerton earning a number 1 seed on their side of the bracket. They'll play the winner of Clinton and Evansville. Moving on, 5-seeded Platteville taking on 4-seeded Turner. Prairie du Chien earns a 3 seed. They'll play the winner of Richland Center and Dodgeville. Bigfoot and River Valley meeting in a 7-10 matchup. The winner will face 2-seeded Edgewood, who earned a bye.
Waupun earning the number 1 seed, the 2022 state champs. They will face the winner of Lodi and East Troy. And then it's Lakeside Lutheran taking on Lomira. Lake Country Lutheran earned the 3 seed. They will have a bye and face the winner of Mayville and Columbus. And then it's Watertown Luther Prep and Ripon. And the winner of that game will take on 2-seeded Lake Mills, who earned the bye.
All right, so we have 1 sectional left in Division 3, 3/4 of the way through this one. Any potential matchups that stand out, or what kind of stands out the most about this bracket so far?
Well, I think the potential matchup between Waupun and Edgewood, I think, is going to be one that's circled. Edgewood's having a very good season. Again, out of that Badger small conference, you know, playing McFarland twice is going to help them. They also go out and play a lot of other good teams as well. They have a win over Pius, who's a very good Division II team. So, you know, it's a matter of for me personally, I think it's a matter of Cale Peterson as far as Waupun not just getting to the state tournament, but winning the title. Obviously, Gracie Gopalan and Lydia Alsba key to them as well, but they just go with Cale Peterson. She really is the key for them.
She's had a lot of experience, too.
Oh, definitely.
She's itching for that gold ball.
They definitely want to get that second one after getting there last season and not doing all that well.
Right. All right. Let's see the final sectional for Division 3. Top-seeded Oostburg earns the bye. They will face the winner of North Fond du Lac and Kewaskum. Kewaskum, the defending state champs. And then Brown Deer and Dominican facing off in a 4-5 game. Sheboygan Falls and they're the 3 seed, so they will earn a bye. They'll take on the winner of Campbell Sport and Milwaukee School of Language. Brookfield Academy and Carmen Northwest going head-to-head in a 7-10 game. The winner will face 2-seeded Kettle Moraine Lutheran, who received a bye.
Catholic Memorial earning a number 1 seed and a bye to go with it. They'll face the winner of Racine St. Catherine's and Cristo Rey Jesuit. And then it's St. Francis and Shoreland Lutheran. St. Thomas More earning the 3 seed here. They have a bye and will face the winner of Milwaukee North and Golda Meir. And then it's Mesmer and St. Anthony. The winner will face 2-seeded Pewaukee Academy of Science, who finished runner-ups last season.
All right, let's go back and take a look at Aquinas, who has plenty of state tournament experience. The Blue Golds won gold in 2018 and 2019, finished runner-up last season. They're moving up to Division III this year. WXOW Sports Director Scott Emmerich caught up with Aquinas head coach Dave Donarski about moving up divisions.
Dave, how does that change things, if at all, for you guys as you prepare for the regionals and sectionals and moving forward?
It's just a different line of teams that we got to prepare for. So we've done a lot more scouting than ever before, getting out to see them live and that kind of thing, and then assembling a huddle, like a library of 5 to 6 films on all of them. So it's not that much different, but it's just a little different from like we're not as familiar with them, but we're doing it.
You guys have great experience making tournament runs through recent years, and your team is playing really well of late. What's been the key?
Well, I think it's just the maturity of our younger kids, and I feel like that has been essential for us, and I think that they're finally comfortable in what we're trying to accomplish, and their energy level's been great. They're just a high-character group of girls, and yeah, we're just continuing to get better every week, and that's what you want as you get close to tournament time.
All right, we'll see if there's another postseason run in the Blue Golds this year. Back to you guys.
McDonald Central is the defending Division 5 state champs. The Macs move up to Division 4 this season. They've already won a conference championship. We'll learn their road to the Resch after the break.
And welcome back to the WIAA Girls Basketball Bracket Reveal Show. We're over halfway through revealing the matchups for the playoffs.
And we're turning our attention now to Division 4, which promises to be an exciting one.
All right, tipping it off with Sectional 1, we have Fall Creek. As the number 1 seed, they'll play the winner of Unity and Boyceville. Grantsburg is the 4 seed and will host Colfax. Regis, earning the 3 seed, they will play either Shell Lake or Cumberland. Durant, Arkansas is the 2 seed. They face off against the winner of Mondovi and Augusta.
Well, moving to the other half of Sectional 1, where McDonald Catholic is the number 1 seed. We'll hear from them in just a second. They'll see the winner of Marathon and Lady Smith in the sectional quarterfinals. Stratford is the 4th seed and awaits the winner of Abbotsford versus Colby. And on the other side is 3rd-seeded Cameron. They play either Cadott or Shawagadan. Phillips is the 2 seed and will play the winner of Chi-Tech, Weyhauser, and Spencer.
And McDonald Central, the defending state champions, looking to be a strong contender to return to the Resch Center. They come in as the 2nd-ranked team in Division 4.
Only 2 losses on the season for them. And for much more, we send it out to WQOW Sports Director Nick Tabbert, who's standing by with head coach Don Cooper. Hey, Nick.
Hey guys, Coach, you just learned your matchup here. You're going to have a first-round bye. That's something you didn't get to enjoy when you were in Division 5. Just your thoughts here on either Ladysmith or Marathon.
They're both very good quality teams, and we've watched a lot of stuff, and we played Ladysmith a couple years, last year and the year before that, so we're very familiar with what they do.
Such a special season so far for you. Another Western Clover Belt Conference championship, just the 2 losses. How do you feel about your group going into the playoffs here?
Well, I feel very confident. I feel very confident in the basis that we've had a great senior group that's led us this year, and that, again, we very familiar sight and very familiar, foes that we've been going up against all year long.
Home playoff game, this is such a home court advantage for you here at McDonald Central. Just your thoughts on being able to play another home playoff game.
Well, again, it's such a very memorable moment, especially for the seniors, because the seniors have worked so hard. To end their career on our court is such a pleasure.
Thoughts on maybe the Division 4 regional and your sectional, just, obviously some Clover Belt teams in there and some Dun St. Croix, some state experience in this bracket. Just your thoughts on maybe who you'll come up against.
Well, I think that Phillips has just got a great coach. They've got great players. Again, I think that I'm looking forward to that matchup, but it's one game at a time, and we don't want to look past any opponent or any team.
Yeah. What are you going to do now to get ready for the playoffs? Obviously, you have a Clover Belt crossover matchup coming up. Some more boxes to check here. But how do you approach now the rest of the season?
Well, that championship game with Neelsville is going to be a really great game to prepare us for the playoffs. So I look forward to that matchup and being able to get a good foot forward going into the playoffs.
Coach Cooper, thank you for the time. Congratulations on a number 1 seed.
Well, thank you, Nick.
All right, back to you guys.
All right, thank you so much. We've got 3 more sectionals to reveal in Division 4, so let's keep it rolling with Sectional 2.
All right, let's keep it going here in D4, where St. Mary Catholic is a #1 seed. They'll play either Manawa or WIAA Fremont. It's Crandon versus Coleman in the 4-versus-5 game. On the other side, Bondol comes in as the 3 seed. They'll play Oconto or Shiocton. Crivets and Princeton Green Lake will battle it out to see who faces second-seeded Lasonia.
Yeah, and Laconia also the defending state champs. On the bottom half of the bracket, we have Kewanee as the top seed. They play the winner of New Holstein and Howard's Grove. Balders is the 4 seed and will host Michigan. On the other side is Manitowoc Lutheran. They'll host either Algoma or Roncalli. Sheboygan Lutheran is the 2 seed and will play the winner of Kohler and Southern Door.
Clover Belt East champions Neillsville earning the top seed in Sectional 3. They'll face the winner of Luther and Wesby. Auburndale hosts Whitehall in the 4-versus-5 seed game. Bangor is the 3 seed. They await the winner of Melrose, Mindoro, and Necedah. Osseo Fairchild will play Nakusa, and the winner of that game gets the 2 seed Westfield in the next round.
Capital South Conference winners New Glarus earn the top seed in Sectional 3. They'll play the winner of Fenimore and Iowa Grant. Then it's Broadhead playing host to Boscobel, and they'll play the winner of Belleville and Wisconsin Heights. On the other side is 3rd-seeded Mineral Point. They'll host either Darlington or Parkview. And then Lomira and Lancaster face off to see who will play 2nd-seeded Cuba City in the next round.
All right, well, the team that's at the top of the SWAL Conference right now, Cuba City, I just had a chance to see them play last week. They kind of seem like a pretty complete team. What stands out about the Cubans, and what are you looking forward to about seeing them in the playoffs?
Well, Olivia Olson stands out for me for them. I mean, she's a pure scorer, very good point guard that can also facilitate and defend very well. And, they've played very good teams. The SWAL's a very good conference historically. Mineral Point, Darlington having good seasons, but they also went out and played Arrowhead and Beaver Dam. While they lost both of those games should help prepare you for a nice run to the state tournament, because that sectional is a very tough one. When you're talking about New Glarus, who has Lindsay Shadewalt, who has over 2,000 career points, and Mineral Point, who beat New Glarus, and then on the top half, you got Neillsville and Westfield, that 2 very strong teams as well. So that's going to be still a tough one to get through, but I do like Cuba City, led by Olivia Olson.
All right, thank you. Let's see the final section of Division 4. And here we go. Living Word Lutheran is the #1 seed. They play the winner of Horicon and Marquesan. Poignette faces off against St. Mary's Spring in the 4-versus-5 matchup. On the other side is 3rd-seeded Random Lake. They'll host either Partyville or Montello. Cedar Grove, Belgium plays Dodgeville. The winner of that game moves on to face Winnebago Lutheran.
Well, here's the final sectional for Division 4, where the Prairie School earns the #1 seed. They await the winner of Williams Bay and Racine Lutheran. Abundant Life Christian will host Kenosha St. Joseph in a battle of 4-versus-5. Then we've got Deerfield matching up against Waterloo. Cambridge is the #2 seed, and they will host Marshall.
All right, so we have the complete Division 4 bracket. Norbert, any surprises that stand out to you or any exciting matchups?
Well, there's obviously some surprises here and there with seeds, but most of those are kind of expected given, how good your conference was versus what you played non-conference. But, we're looking for, maybe the Prairie School getting to the state tournament. They got held up against Laconia last year in the sectional final. They played them earlier this year, and they didn't have one of their starters. So I think, they have a chance to not just get there, but maybe give Laconia a run, because Laconia, they didn't lose much from last year. And, actually added another very good player for their team. That team's led by Tierney Madigan, Laconia is. And, it's the depth of the field's very strong. I feel like Division 1's always got a lot of quality opponents, but, I think it is going to come down to Laconia and the Prairie School in the end.
Laconia, is that the team to beat?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
All right, well, we have one more division to go, and for that, we send it out live to Keegan Hewitt.
That's right, guys. The 21-0 Assumption Royals await their fate in that Division 5 bracket. We'll take a look at that ahead on the other side as well from Coach Klein on their run to the Resch. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the WIAA Girls Basketball Bracket Reveal Show. We have one division left.
All right, let's take a look at Division 5 and tell you how each team will begin their road to the Resch Center.
All right, starting with top-seeded Clear Lake taking on 16-seeded Birchwood. And then it's Northwood and Prairie Farm in an 8-9 matchup. 5-seeded Siren meeting Luck, and Spring Valley taking on 4-seeded New Auburn. 3-seeded Turtle Lake facing off against Glenwood City. Solon Springs and Clayton going head-to-head. Eau Claire Emmanuel will face Frederick, and then it's La Coudray and 2-seeded Webster.
Nailed it. South Shore earning the number 1 seed. They'll face Bruce and then Gilman and Lake Holcomb in an 8-9 matchup. Hurley will take on Flambeau and Mercer and Butternut. Drummond earned the 3 seed. They'll face Cornell. Winter and Mellon going head-to-head, and then it's Princess and Washburn and Thorpe against Powinathy. Pacelli earning the number 1 seed. They'll face the winner of Rib Lake and 3 Lakes Phelps. Then it's Loyal and Rossholt in a 5-12 matchup. Marion taking on Athens. 3-seeded Greenwood will face Elko, and Northland Lutheran taking on Columbus Catholic. Edgar, the 7-seed, facing Newman Catholic, and Iola Scandinavia going up against 2-seeded Pittsville.
Okay, Lena, they earn the number 1 seed. They will take on White Lake. Then we have Bowler against Oneida Nation, Gresham against Green Bay Lutheran, Suring against Florence, and Wabena Leona taking on Goodman Pembine, Wazaki against Gillette, Niagara against Gibraltar, and St. Thomas Aquinas against Sevastopol.
All right, so we've gotten through the first part of these first 2 sectionals. Before we go to the final stretch of the bracket, Norbert, what stands out to you with a couple more sectionals to reveal in Division 5 here?
You know, obviously not having McDonald Central in Division 5 definitely makes everyone happy in that sectional 1. Opens a door for Clear Lake or maybe South Shore to get to the state tournament, you know, because they've really been blocked by McDonald Central the last few years, so definitely happy there. So I think that's the biggest standouts right now.
All right, so we're going to keep it rolling here. Top-seeded Cochrane Fountain City. They are the number 1 seed. We'll get that bracket up in a second. They're taking on the winner of Waniwak Center and Brookwood. Kickapoo facing Lafarge and Youth Initiative. And New Lisbon taking on 4th-seeded Cashton. Independence Gilmanton earning the 3 seed and taking on Oliva Strum. And then it's Hillsboro and Alma Center Lincoln. Alma Pepin with the 7 seed facing Blair Taylor, and Plum City Elmwood going up against 2-seeded Royal.
Top-seeded Argyle Pecatonica taking on Southwestern, Barneville and DeSoto Ithaca facing off against Riverdale, Benton and Highland meeting in the first round. Belmont earning the 3 seed taking on Potosi Cassville, North Crawford and River Ridge facing off. Blackhawk will meet Shullsburg in a 7-10 matchup, and Seneca and 2-seeded Wazeeka Steuben.
Moving forward, top-seeded Assumption will meet 16-seeded Fort Edwards, and Central Wisconsin Christian taking on Fall River. Wild Rose and Rio in a 12-5 matchup. Cambria, Friesland, and Randolph going head-to-head. Oakfield and Hillsbert in a 14-3 matchup. Reedsville and Amon Bancroft, and then it's Valley Christian Oshkosh and Elkhart Lake Glenbula, and Tri-County and Lord's Academy.
All right, well, let's talk more about Assumption, the top-ranked team in Division 5, an undefeated overall record.
WAOW Sports Director Keegan Hewitt standing by with the team. Hey, Keegan.
Yeah, guys, I'm not sure if you can hear that excitement behind me, but the Royals and Coach Klein just found out they've earned that 1 seed after an undefeated season thus far, standing here today. What does it feel just kind of reflecting earning that seed and seeing your opponent as you'll play Port Edwards just across town?
It'll be nice to have a neighborhood opponent, so that'll be fun.
Yeah.
I'm super excited for the girls. They've put in a lot of work this year, so I know the playoff run is just around the corner, and we've got a hard week coming up this week, so I'm excited for it.
Yeah, you speak of a tough week, you'll face Aquinas. We just previewed them not too long ago, a tough squad that's made it to that tournament like yourselves a ton, 2 respective programs. What can you learn by playing a tough opponent late and getting into your best stride, which you've already hit as you reach that postseason?
We got back-to-back games. We've got Aquinas and then Pacelli, who just got a 1 seed, so I think, there's a little bit to be learned there. Hopefully, if we're in the regional final, we'll get to experience that, and God willing, if we're in the state tournament, it's the same thing. So back-to-back games will be fun to challenge the girls, and it'll be fun.
It's exciting. Last one to kind of wrap us up. What does it mean for this girls and this unit to have their attempt to kind of leave their legacy and stamp Royal basketball?
A big part of this is the families that support the girls. I mean, it's a testament to all their hard work through the years. So the girls are a product of a lot of hard work from other people too, and I'm super excited for this group, and they're going to be fun to watch.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Coach Klein, and ladies, let's hear it as you guys earn that 1 seed.
Carly, Luke, we'll send it back to you guys in studio.
All right, thanks so much. Fun to see that excitement there. Well, let's get to the next bracket. Albany Monticello, the number 1 seed. They'll take on the winner of Faith Christian and Heritage Christian. Palmyra Eagle taking on University Lake in a 5-12 matchup. They'll face the winner of Judah and Sheboygan Christian, who is a 4 seed. On the other side, it's Chesterton Academy as a 3 seed taking on Ozaki. Johnson Creek Wayland Academy hosting Johnson Creek. Kenosha Christian Life taking on Catholic Central, and Salam, the 2 seed, taking on Gustafsburg.
All right, Division 5 seems to be a tight race at the top. Let's talk about 2 teams that played this week, Argyle Pecatonica and Albany Monticello. What do you think about those 2 teams?
You know, Argyle Pecatonica definitely, they really started strong this year. Kylie Butler and Brooke Wellnitz, they're really doing it. And obviously, you talk about this last week. You know, they didn't have Kylie Butler for the last 5 minutes of that game, and they found a way to beat Albany Monticello. And I think that's huge for them moving forward. It shows that they have enough depth to not just get to the state tournament, but to maybe hoist a gold ball at the end. And in Albany Monticello, they have a clear path to get to a sectional final, which is good for them. That other half, though, is very strong, led by Assumption. And, you know, Randolph's in there as well, Lord's Academy, Oakfield, all teams that are capable of getting to that sectional final. But I think the very good path, at least for Albany, to get to a sectional final. To state, a little bit more difficult, but I really like what Argyle's doing with Kylie Butler and Brooke Wellnitz.
All right, looking at the whole Division 5 bracket, what's another maybe unlikely team, maybe people aren't thinking of, that could get there?
Another unlikely team. Well, I think it's more in that sectional 1.
Okay.
It's who might come out of there. You know, we talk about Clear Lake and South Shore, and while they may not have played some of that higher end opponents, South Shore, but you know they're winning games. They only have 1 loss. But I think, you know, it is going to come down to maybe one of those teams out of Lakeland if it isn't Clear Lake, because, you know, Turtle Lake's played some good opponents this year and have a very good scorer at the top, Mackenzie Tarman. So I think that's going to be key for them. But, you know, Division 5, there's definitely a lot of quality teams, but I think it does narrow down a little bit when you're talking about who can win a gold ball. You know, there's probably 4 or 5 teams there that we've talked about already.
All right, well, those are the brackets, but we've still got more to come, so don't go anywhere. Coming up next after the break, we talk about the finalists for this year's Miss Basketball and get Norbert's predictions for the state tournament.
All right, we do have a change that we want to announce for the last bracket that just came up in Division 5. So Sheboygan Christian, they are the number 4 seed, and Chesterton Academy, the number 3 seed, they are swapped. So Chesterton Academy, they will be number 4 taking on Judah, and Sheboygan Christian will be number 3 taking on Ozaki.
We swapped it. Hold on. Say that in our ear again. Okay, Chesterton Academy is the 3 seed. The 4 seed is Sheboygan Christian. So 4 seed Sheboygan Christian will take on Judah. And on the other side of that bracket, the 3 seed Chesterton Academy will take on Ozaki. We apologize for that, but we wanted to make sure we got it right before we got out of here.
All right, let's get to the WIAA Miss Basketball finalists. So let's put up that graphic for Miss Basketball, the 6 finalists from across Wisconsin this year. It'll be announced at the Girls State Tournament, the winner. Here's a look at them. Trista Fada, Gracie Gresh from Notre Dame, McFarland's Tika Mullaney, Kale Peterson from Waupun, Verona's Taylor Stremlow, and Allie Zabel from Neenah. Norb, just looking at those girls, can we just talk about the talent of that group and who may win Miss Basketball?
Yeah, I mean, that's the biggest thing is the talent in the state. I mean, you know, you look at those 6, and there's plenty of others that maybe in other years that could have been a finalist for Miss Basketball. I think the depth is very good. I mean, it shows a lot for the state of Wisconsin for the talent. But Allie Zabel, she's the cream of the crop. You know, Tegan Mullaney's played so well. Trista Fada, Gracie Gresh, they just don't lose games. I think they've only lost 4 basketball games in their entire high school career at this point. So, I mean, then Kale Peterson, I mean, she's a game changer. She's already got a state title. So I think, you know, when you're talking about that group, it doesn't really get a whole lot better. It just shows, again, the talent that we have in the state of Wisconsin for girls basketball.
Okay, just very quickly, we got 30 seconds here. We're going to show your predictions, anyone that you want to hit on off the top. just real quick.
Well, I think Division I is just so deep. I think there's 3 or 4 teams that could get there in Division I and hoist that gold ball. I do have Verona, but Hortonville's playing some very good basketball lately.
All right, thank you everyone for watching the girls basketball reveal show. Best of luck to all these teams as they start the postseason. All right, thanks for watching. Have a great day.